Hey guys, what's up? Today we're going to do a new video for the Yuneec Typhoon H. In particular, we're going to take a look at using this. And if we don't go too long and I got a little extra time, I'm going to show you using some of these functions too. So stick around, got a great video to come, more to happen. Okay, a little background before we get started. If you fly UAVs, drones, and you take pictures or video at the same time, you are dividing your capabilities. When you are flying, you're not as good a cameraman as you are, and when you're filming, you're not as good a pilot as you are normally without doing those two jobs. So anytime you can separate those two jobs out, the better. And you know, pro rigs usually have teams of people to handle the jobs. Some of us, in our case, it's just one. So anytime there's automation available, I like to use it. And the D-pad cruise control thing is one that I really like. It's quick and simple and can allow for some amazing shots that you can just put back to back to back to get the kind of film work that you really want. But another is the curved cable cam. And I really like this because with the form layout of the Typhoon H, where you've got the gear up and a rotating gimbal, you can get shots from this craft that you can't get from anything else that doesn't have those things. And most others don't at this price point, so it's really a unique thing in that realm, no pun intended. I'm going to take you now out to the field, and we're going to start setting up our first mission. And we'll see you out there. One of the properties I shot aerial photos for recently looked to be a perfect place to execute a large CCC mission, as it was vacant and somewhat of a challenging subject. This house sits on a large 5-acre lot, most of which is covered with huge trees. I wanted to do a long run in towards the house at elevation, and I wanted the initial approach to be predominantly from the front. This mission would start from a point out near the road at about 30 feet and descend down towards the house before rising up and flying over the top, then back down behind the house, making a large semicircle to the west while gaining altitude and speed, ending directly in front of the house at the highest point. Okay, so maybe you can hear me. Anyway, we're going to get ready to do this flight. See how things go. Okay, while I get ready to go ahead and fly to the first waypoint and get that all set up, let's take a look at the ST-16 and get a better look at all the steps necessary to set this kind of mission up. When setting up a CCC mission, we tend to think of it as flying from point to point. In reality, the direction of the next point as well as speed determine the amount of curve between 2 points as shown here. Now notice how the path will change based upon where we choose to place the next point. And keep in mind, this happens on both the vertical and horizontal plane. To start a CCC mission, click on the camera task icon in the lower right portion of the screen. You will then see a list of tasks. Selecting the CCC button will bring up a 3-page description of the operations of curved cable cam. In particular, it describes the two methods of camera operation. Either the camera angles that were in place when you selected the waypoints will be used, or you can take full control of pan and tilt from the right stick by selecting the global pan mode. More information about CCC can always be found on page 10 of the manual. Now you can either just skip this message each time in the field or elect not to see it again by clicking right here. In the mission planner, once flying, you will be able to select waypoints by using the plus button. You will then see it come up as a waypoint under the red CCC bar. This process is repeated at each chosen location of our mission until we have all of the waypoints in the list. Once you have all the waypoints entered, you can select the Save tab and you will be prompted to give the mission a name. Once a mission is saved, clicking the List button allows you to scroll through the missions when you're ready to fly. Before starting a mission, understand that you are starting an autonomous flight, and as such, there are some procedures that must be followed. 1. Once a mission is started, the Typhoon will fly a direct path from wherever it is directly to the first waypoint. If objects are in its way, it will require you to stop the mission before it impacts the object. This is why there are two distinct steps to initiating a mission. Before starting, fly manually as close as possible to the exact starting point. 2. To stop a mission at any point, you will need to exit the mission from the screen. Before starting a CCC mission, mentally prepare yourself for the one step to stop the mission, and this is very important. 3. If you're operating the gimbal manually, be sure the pan selector switch is in the global pan mode. 4. Once you are at the first waypoint, the Typhoon will await your command to begin. This entails raising of the throttle stick. Note that the amount of stick movement will determine the speed of the flight. And speaking of flight, let's just go ahead and jump right in and take a look at the curved cable cam mission from that day. Well, I thought this video would go long, and it did. Sorry for that 3-minute clip. Normally I would never put a 3-minute clip inside of a video unedited, but since it's about the curved cable cam, I wanted to show you that entire flight from start to finish. In the next video, we're going to go over the cruise control like I promised, but also I've got a screen capture for the ST16 that works out really well, and I'll take you through my setup in the next video. Stick around, more to come. If you haven't subscribed, please do. More videos are in the works right now. See you in the next one.